I can smell spray cans in the air, so it must be time for another DIY video. And who of you knows Sam Pilgrim, the UK freerider with the tooth gap? I'm a fanboy. Check out his channel and what he can do with bikes. It's so crazy and I love it. And he's sponsored by Monster Energy and wears these helmets with a special design. And that's exactly what I like to do with you in this video, a Sam Pilgrim style helmet. So let's go. Before we can start, we have to satisfy all the Virgin Marys and keyboard warriors out there. So, disclaimer. If you are unsure if your helmet is suitable for a custom paint job or spray can paint job, ask the producer of the helmet if you can apply a spray can paint job without damaging the shell of the helmet. If you don't know what you're doing, you can risk your health and your life. And believe me, your mom and dad and cat and Bachi will burst in tears if you die in an accident caused by a broken helmet, caused by a non-professional custom paint job. So if you don't know what you're doing, don't paint your helmets and safety gear. And if you know what you're doing, paint your helmet as you like it. That's what I will do in this video. And the first step is to mask the inner shell of the helmet, the styrofoam shell, to protect it from any overspray, because the solvents in these spray cans can melt the styrofoam, and to prevent that, I have to mask it with masking tape. That's my first step. So let's start with the custom painting project. All the masking is done and the next step will be a wet sanding party. And guess who will be the guest? Yes, you are right. I invited Sandra, my wet sanding bucket, and of course some sheets of wet sanding paper, 800 grit, and it's every time the same. You need some politically correct warm water. I like it boiling hot, like a good cup of English tea. Put the paper into the bucket, make it wet, and then rub the surface until it's flat and smooth. I have to remove some original decals, you can see them here, and I have to prepare the original coating for some good adhesion. And when that is done, I can change to the paint booth, or in your case your garage or your garden, and I have to apply some plastics primer. But at first, let's party hard and let's remove the decals. The wet sanding party is over and now we have to hang the helmet for the paint job. But we can't hang it into the air. It falls every time. It won't stick. So we need a paint stand. And I have a cool 1-minute solution for you. The bucket broomstick paint stand. It's simple as it can be. What you need is a flower pot. Ask your mommy or your granny. And an old broomstick. And that's all. What you also need is a little screw and a screwdriver. And I'll show you how to build the 1-minute paint stand. Take the broomstick and the flower pot, put the screw into the flower pot. Absolutely simple. Use the screwdriver and then screw the flower pot onto the broomstick. Yeah, and that's all you have to do. And that can be your cool 1-minute paint stand. And that's it. Now you can put the helmet onto the flower pot and you're ready for the paint job. Let's go! And here we are at my paint booth, and I will start with two spray cans. The first one is a transparent plastic primer for good adhesion, and the second one is the Montana Gold Shock Black. And I use the Shock Black to fill in all the areas where I've removed the decals because they have a grayish tint, and for the design I need a black background. And if you have a different colored helmet like yellow, like red, like blue, green or whatever, you can use the Shock Black to color the complete helmet in black, because a black background is necessary for the design we like to apply on the helmet. And I will link you all the stuff I use underneath the video in the video description. If you need to order these spray cans, find them in the link underneath the video. And don't forget to wear also a personal safety gear like a spray mask when spraying with spray cans. So safety first, put on a spray mask, and then let's spray the helmet. And I will apply the black right after the primer, no delay this time. That guarantees a good bond between the primer and the black. So let's go ahead right with the black color. Back from the paint booth, the Shock Black cured 1 hour, which is 60 minutes or 3,600 seconds, to all the ones who want to know it exactly. And guess what's next? Yes, a meeting with Sandra, the wet sanding bucket, and some wet sanding paper 800 grit. And it's every time the same. I have to sand the surface so the next layers of color will stick well. If I don't do the sanding, they can peel off. That's what I don't want. And that's what's custom painting, a shitty, time-consuming and boring job. So I have to do the sanding, which takes maybe an hour. And when I'm done, I come back to you for the interesting part, spraying some decals. My helmet is sanded, and now comes the fun part, the design. So let's check out Sam's helmet and what we have to do. Sam's helmet looks a bit grungy and eroded, like an old aluminum pot, very used, as it was former painted black, and during the use all the color is gone. And that's what we have to imitate, an used metallic look, a used metal look. So I ordered different stickers, these outline amps for the background, for the silver background, and also bigger amps for the neon green amps. And at first I have to stick on all these stickers on the helmet, and then I have to spray some color to create the used look. And I think it's made with sandpaper. That means I have to spray light coatings of color. I have to sand them off to create the used look. And I will try Montana Silver Chrome and maybe Montana Metallic Silver. I'm not really sure how to achieve the look, but let's do it and let's find it out. And I will let you know which color I use in the helmet. So let's start. At first, let's stick on the stickers and then let's paint. I sticked all the M's randomly on the helmet, that is the result. Now it's time to change again to the paint booth. I take the chrome and the silver, come with me and let's try the grungy metal structure. I start with the Montana Gold Silver Chrome and put on a fat cap on the can, and what I will do is a very light coating on the helmet, only in some spots. I let it dry for maybe half an hour and then I will remove some of the color with some wet sanding paper and let's see how it looks. First try, first can. Big shock, I thought I had ruined my design with the first spray of the chrome. The chrome was a bad idea, it's absolutely sparkly, check this, it's not the same effect like on Sam's helmet, and I thought I had to start from scratch, but then there came an idea in my mind. I can rub off the chrome with a paper towel and some degreaser, and that's what I'm actually doing. I have to spray on some degreaser and then I can rub in all the chrome, and that gives the effect of the used aluminum. That's what I have to do now. And when I've done that, I can highlight some areas with the Montana Silver. That's what I have to do. And when I'm done, I like to show you the result. And maybe it's the same like on Sam's helmet. That's what it is now. I decided to use the Montana Metallic Silver, and as you have seen, I used 2 spray cans. I used also the Montana Metallic Black. That's the result, nearly the same like on Sam's helmet. I like it, and what I have to do now is I have to remove all the stencils I sticked on before, but that's only the halfway gone. What I have to do then is to spray the silver outlines on every of these M's, which takes hours. But that's the next step, so let's remove the stickers first and then let's stick on new ones for the silver outline. Yes, again, wet sanding. The next step is light sanding to break the gaps in between the color layers. There are gaps in between every layer of color. You can see it on the edges of the M's. And to break these gaps, I have to do a light sanding. Not too much. If I do it too much, I will destroy the color. And when I've done the sanding, I can apply some more masks and I can spray the silver outline. Now comes the difficult part. I have to spray these outlines. I did a test piece, check this, and then with an outline. It's so cool, but time consuming. And what I did is, I made these stencils. I have to stick them on. I have to mask the area around the stencil, and then I have to spray very careful with this big spray can. It's much too big, an airbrush would be much better, but we do spray can work, so we have to use spray cans. And what I will do is, I will stick on the stencil, I will mask the area, and then I like to show you how to spray it. That's how I mask the monster. I'm a little bowl, and that saves the helmet from any overspray. It keeps the overspray inside the bowl. So let's spray it very careful and only thin layers. I have to press on the foil so there will be no leakage underneath the masking tape, and then let's spray. Yeah, that's enough. Now I have to wait until it's dry, maybe 5 minutes, and then I can remove all the masking tape. And here it is, the monster M with the silver outline. I have to do a lot more, and when I've done all these outlines, I come back to you and I show you how to spray the neon green M, the big M, and also the monster logo on the front of the helmet. The grungy metal background with all the little monster M's is done and it's looking really cool, but one thing is missing, and that are the big neon green monster logos on the side of the helmet, and that's what I like to do now. And we need a special stencil technique to do these logos because we can't do the fade with spray cans, so we have to stencil the fade. That's what I like to show you. And I use special colors. I will start with the Montana Gold, pure yellow as every time. But I will use also the Montana Black Infra Green because that's a real neon color. That's what we need to create the neon green monster logo. Let's do the stencils and then let's spray them on the helmet. These are the stencils I use for the monster decals, and at first we have to harvest all the forms of the monster M, but don't waste them because we need them later on for the green shadow. So stick them onto a separate paper of this masking, of a back paper of this masking stencil. And you can save them because what we have to do is we have to stick on the negative form onto the helmet, we have to spray the yellow, we have to demask it, and then we have to use all these positive forms to spray the green shadow, but not so much talking, more doing. I have to harvest the last form and then I like to show you how to spray the monster M's. I masked the complete helmet to prevent it from overspray, and now it's very simple. I take the pure yellow and I spray some layers until I have bright yellow monster decals on the helmet. Not too much in the first layer, let it dry a minute and then do the next layer. The yellow has to cure maybe 10 to 15 minutes, and when it's cured we can do the neon green. The yellow base color is done, and now you can use all these monster stripes to mask the yellow highlight. Maybe 1/3 of the stripe, and when you've placed all these masks you can spray the neon green. Check this, it looks so cool. All the graphics on the helmet sprayed only with spray cans. But we are not done. Before this helmet's ready for shredding, we have to do the finale. And the finale will be a good clear coat. That's needed to protect all your graphics and to give the helmet the pro look we like. And I will use the Montana varnish. A matte clear coat, I will apply maybe 3 to 4 layers. So come with me to the paint booth and I like to show you how to apply the clear coat. The first and important thing is shake your can well before you spray the clear coat. And the second important thing, don't spray a big splash. Spray thin layers, maybe 4 to 5, maybe with a sanding in between to break the gaps in between the colors. After the sanding, that's my second layer I will apply. And when I've done that, my helm seems to be ready. So I have to shake the can. And don't forget your safety gear. A spray mask and then spray thin layers, not a big splash. That will cause you troubles. Thin layers are good and that's what I'm doing now. And here it is, the finished helmet. I removed all the masking tape and that's it. What a cool project. And the really cool things on this helmet are the little details and outlines around the decals and the lettering and the effort I put into the helmet. And believe it or not, it's made only with these spray cans, simple as it can be. And now you know how to do it. And what I have to do now is I have to watch some more of Sam's videos because they are so cool. I wish I can do with bikes what he can do, but the only 360 I can do is with spray cans like these. So I have to do some more custom painting videos. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned if you want to know more about custom painting and see you in one of my next videos. Goodbye. Check this, that's so cool, front flip, yeah, that's what I like to see.